We need to find a way to get in good trouble, necessary trouble, if we're going to save America.
This is Paige. Welcome to the Necessary Trouble Show. Here's your host, my dad, Russell Fugett.
Great job, Paige. Welcome back to the Necessary Trouble Show here at the Good Word Digital Studios. If you need a fast, affordable website, digital advertising, logo design, you name it, visit us at goodworddigital.com. Today, I'm joined again by my friend Rick Hart, who was on our pilot episode and has come back victorious as he helped turn the state of Georgia blue. But there's still more work for him to do, as he's now the youth vote coordinator for Reverend Ralph Warnock's Senate runoff campaign, who also, along with John Ossoff, is running those dual Senate runoffs in Georgia. Rick, welcome back to the Necessary Trouble Show.
Thank you so much, Russell, for having me. It's an honor to be back on.
One of you in that Morehouse sweatshirt representing our HBCUs today. Very proudly a member of the student government there, and of course was a part of the Biden campaign. Looking backwards briefly, tell us a little bit about the weeks leading up to the election. I know we tried to get you on before Election Day. Schedules didn't work out, but I'm so grateful we're able to do it now, and it's still relevant as there's another election in the state. Tell us a little bit about what you saw in Georgia leading up to Election Day.
Yeah, I re-arrived in Georgia on October 11th. And upon arriving in Atlanta and traveling around the state, whether it been Augusta, Macon, Columbus, Savannah, Sylvania, Scriven County, in rural parts of the state, you felt a sense of momentum on our side. You had a lot of people that were saying they were going to go out and vote by mail or in person for Joe Biden, Reverend Warnock, and John Ossoff. And we really felt this sense of, maybe the media, maybe the nation is missing something that's playing out on the ground here in Georgia. So what we did those last 3.5, 4 weeks, we busted our tails. We went to every single house. We made every single phone call we possibly could. Hundreds of thousands of phone calls were made into the state of Georgia. We did sign waving events with youth, text banks, virtual events, different Zoom calls. We brought in surrogates to talk to youth. Just everything that we possibly could to inspire, especially youth, to get involved in this election. And turns out Joe Biden won Georgia by a little over 12,000 votes, and we had the highest rate of youth voter turnout in the country, which is something that we were really proud of at Biden HQ and for the Georgia Democratic Party. So it was an honor to be a part of that team, and it's an incredible honor to be in charge of youth vote for Reverend Raphael Warnock heading into this runoff on January 5th.
Yeah, it'll be quite historic. I mean, I've been thinking about that. Like, if that, if you guys be successful down there, like, it'll give her a very unique historical vice presidency. I'm sure, in terms of what she's going to be able to do. Once it gets to the official cast that tire-breaking vote, and I think hopefully a lot of good things can happen. And these bread lines that we see, I was chatting with my wife over the weekend and some of my friends, and it's killing me seeing folks line up for food. I hope we can figure something out on that before even we get to the next Congress. But anyway, I know if we have 50-50 in the Senate, I think a lot of things that need to happen will happen much faster. Well, we're proud of you. Congratulations on being a part of that amazing feat down there in Georgia. So, I've seen that they say there's about 23,000 or so folks who are turning 18 and eligible to vote between the end of this most recent election and the registration deadline for the upcoming runoff. What are you doing to do two things? One, reach out, identify, and register those new voters, A, then also B, keep the energy and enthusiasm going for that youth vote that's going to be critical on January 5th.
We're calling and texting like crazy. That's the first step, especially texting. A lot of younger voters don't typically pick up the phone when they see a number they don't know. But if they get a text message, they're more than likely to at least open that text message. If you get a reminder saying, hey, the voter registration deadline to register in Georgia is December 7th, you're at least going to see that via text. So that's really the big thing that we're prioritizing right now, text banking, letting young voters, letting youth voters, people that are turning 18 before the race to register to to vote before December 7th. Another thing that we've started to do is the Reverend and John Ossoff have gotten TikTok accounts to appeal to younger voters. They're making TikTok videos. I know Reverend Warnock did one with a dog the other day. So we're exhausting all options that we can to try to expose the policy positions, the character, the identity of both Reverend Warnock and John Ossoff, leading into the voter registration deadline so that as many people can register to vote, all the way going forward until January 5th, when we have a chance to flip the Senate blue.
Excellent. I'm not a TikToker, but I know a lot of young people in my own family who are, and so I know that's where you reach the young folks.
Definitely.
Now, on a more personal note, how we first saw you speaking at the March on Washington back in late August, and then of course you've had the COVID semester for all of us who have young kids in school. You're a college student. I know you're in Georgia now. You're between Maryland, where you live, and being in Atlanta and around the voting and in school. Over the last 3 or 4 months, how would you sum up your life, or what you've learned, or how you've grown in these last 3 to 4 months as a young person?
If I had to give it a couple of words, I'd say sporadic, crazy, chaotic, random, spontaneous, all of those words just describe the having to kind of live on the go throughout the course of these last several months. Whether that be adjusting to the rigors that came with the semester. I took a full course load of school 15 credits along with working full-time on the campaign and moving back and forth between Atlanta and Maryland in the midst of the pandemic, and having to take COVID tests, constant times quarantine periods, along with working on the campaign and physically being on the ground in Georgia and moving around the state for the latter half of that month of October leading into November. It was crazy, and it's gonna stay crazy probably for the next 35 days, but it's all worth it. We have an incredible opportunity to keep Georgia blue by flipping these races, and again, it's just gonna be. I've just joined this week again, in my capacity as one of the youth vote coordinators, and I'm so excited to just continue to be a part of the team that's changing this state for the long term and for the better.
Circling back to COVID, of course, there's been some critique about, Republicans were more willing to ignore the coronavirus as a threat and do more grassroots, door-to-door knocking, handshaking, so to speak, and where Democrats have been more virtual, more text. Is that what your experience has been in Georgia? And if it was, is anything changing, on the Warnock campaign heading into January? Are you looking to do more traditional grassroots? Or are you still really looking to kind of keep the distance, leverage technology, and be safe?
Yeah. So
safer.
Right, and in the midst of everything occurring. So the answer is yes to still campaigning on the grassroots side of things, and also being cautious and exercising social distancing, mask wearing at every event that we hold. So the Reverend and John Ossoff are traveling. Both are outdoorsmen. Both prefer to campaign outside as opposed to being inside, which allows us to be able to social distance in an easier sense, if that makes sense. So the Reverend is moving all around the state. He's going to embark on start a bus tour leaving Atlanta, I believe, within the next week and a half, after he debates Senator Loeffler in Atlanta on Sunday, I believe. And then he'll be traveling the state, and we'll be hosting a series of social campaign events, rallies, events where he just pops in and shows up, meets with business leaders, etc. And talking about my time working on the ground for the Biden campaign, is towards the end we began to do socially distanced literature drops. So this is where we just go door to door. We did not knock on your door. We would just place the campaign information on your door hanger and go to every single house. We didn't care if you were Democrat or Republican, independent, registered, not registered. We needed every single vote. So we were going to every single house that we possibly could in that last 4 weeks or so, just making people aware of the polling place, making people aware of when early voting ended, making people aware of election day, because not everybody knows that it is election day on November 3rd. So that kind of thing. So we did, I think, a great job covering the ground in Georgia despite the pandemic. However, we're going to begin to actually door knock, socially distanced door knock within the coming weeks within the coming days, actually, for both Reverend Warnock and John Ossoff.
Awesome. Good stuff. Appreciate your insights on strategy. As we wrap up real quick, how can those of us who are not in Georgia, obviously, donations, I know money helps, but how else can we support Reverend Warnock's campaign, even John Allsaw's campaign in the efforts you're behind, particularly to get the youth vote out? What can we do for those of us who are not in Georgia to support the efforts there?
First thing I would urge you to do is to Google Raphael Warnock, head to his campaign website and click on the Take Action tab. It'll allow you to make phone banks, text banks. It'll allow you to donate money, to get involved, to bring in your network, to fundraise if you have the capability to do that, because we need all the help that we can possibly get on the ground. So that's the first thing. Go to reverendwarnock.com, electwarnock.com, and click on the Take Action tab. That's the first thing we'd ask for you to do. And then once you do that, if you can sign up for 30 minutes, an hour of your time to come make calls into Georgia, if you can partner with an organization such as the Georgia Postcard Project or Fair Fight, or another letter, Swing Left, another organization, to write letters, to write postcards, send those into Georgia to Georgia voters, that would also be much appreciated. The person that runs Georgia Postcard Project just let me know that over 250,000 letters were sent in the mail from out of state into Georgia before the general election. And that definitely made a difference when you're talking about a 12,000 vote margin in terms of the victory that Joe Biden won here by. So, just these little things, if you can just take 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour of your time a week, you're helping us flip this state, keep this state blue, helping us flip the Senate. So those are the things that I would definitely point you towards.
Excellent. Thanks for all those resources. Rick, in the traditional sense, I know you're going to be traveling and moving around a lot in the coming weeks. We wish you safety, of course, with the coronavirus as well. We wish you safety and health and success as you complete your semester, and then all the way sprinting to the lead up to January 5th. We really appreciate you making time for us again to share your insights, your story, and I do hope you will encourage you, if I may, young man, to take the time to journal and dialogue and journal and keep notes about this time, because I know it's going to be a blur in hindsight.
Right.
But the work you're doing is truly transformational and important for you and important for so many others that you're impacting. So I want to encourage you and thank you. And we look forward to having you back again soon on the Necessary Trouble Show.
Thank you so much, Russell. It was great being back on, and I look forward to the next opportunity chatting with you on the Necessary Trouble Show. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching the Necessary Trouble Show. Please visit necessarytroubleshow.com to support the show and to learn more. Subscribe to our e-newsletter and podcast, and follow us on social media at Necessary Trouble Show.
Good job, Daddy. This is Paige. Thanks for watching.